gameplay, or did you want to do a replay analysis? What did you prefer to do?
Since you already had a look at the replay, we can go over it right now and we can just do a live session another time.
Sure. So let me go back a little bit and I will share my screen here. Okay. And before we start, I like to just kind of do like a overview of what are like your goals, what you're trying to do. So like my first question would just be, um, where are you at currently, and where do you want to get to? What's your MMR? What MMR do you want to get to?
Currently I am 5.2 and I wanna hit Immortal for sure. Like I wanna get 5.6
Okay,
and then hopefully 6K.
cool. Yeah,
So yeah, that's what I'm trying to achieve right now.
understood. And so when you're trying to get better, when you're playing, like you queue up into a game, are you queuing with the mindset of improving or just generally to win?
I am trying to improve and I am also at the same time trying to win. Every game that I play, I'm trying to win it.
So to get that MMR, the rank of immortal, at this time, what specific stat or mechanic do you see yourself needing to work on and improve? Or if you don't have anything that you know, that's fine too.
I do think that my laning stage is lacking because I play with a lot of 7K MMR friends,
Hmm.
and that's the first thing that they point out that I need to get better at my laning.
Hmm. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
And let's see. So we're going to get this replay open, and let's see. Do. So I think the first thing I already noticed. So you say you're more comfortable past 4 than 5, so you don't play as much 5.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but sometimes, like, I usually queue both roles, and sometimes I end up getting plus 5. And this was the most recent game that I played that I feel like we could have won, but we didn't end up winning. So this is the game that I gave for replay.
Okay. So in this lane that you're coming into, you kind of already know your lane versus a Mars techie. So do you look at the drafts, your lanings before you go into the lane?
Yes, I do.
Okay, and you decide your items based off your lane, correct?
Yeah, I knew that it's techie, then I was gonna be taking a lot of damage. So I think I did, yeah, get stick. Like I did plan ahead, like I want to get a magic wand and get more tangles
Hmm. Yeah. So I think
because they have more damage.
exactly. Yeah, they have a lot of spells they throw at you, the sticky bombs, the spears and stuff like that. Techies also has like a longer range. You have like better attack animation and attack time, but he can outrange you a little bit. He's also a little bit faster, about like 10 movement speed.
Mm-hmm.
So that being said, like it's gonna be harder for you to click him as much as you want to, just because of him being farther range, a little bit faster. He also has the taser later in the lane to like disarm you. So in this lane, I think getting the Blightstone is a little bit of like a grief. I think you're not really utilizing this Orb of Blight as much in this lane as in other lanes, for example. I think just starting out with either the stick or just starting out with a circlet to have more stats just to be able to trade a little better. I think it's just better
Mm-hmm.
than the Orb of Blight in this lane. Just small item choices I think like that can help your laning definitely in the lane. We'll think about that. I think this stack is not a good stack, or this pool is not a good pool. So, what do you understand about single pools?
What do I understand about Singapore's?
Yeah, what do
What do
single
you mean?
pools do? If you pull this camp, this is small camp, pool one camp. It is not stacked. What's gonna happen when you pull this?
It's gonna kill a few creeps, not all of them because it's a single pool.
Okay.
And
hmm
yeah, that's the main thing.
That's the main thing. So that's the that's the cause that happens. The effect that happens from it only killing it maybe one creep is that you're going to push the wave. Your carry, what is your carry's main objective in the lane here?
I mean, it's to get as many last hits as possible.
To get as many lats hits as possible, while like what makes that happen easier is that number one, he wants to not be harassed. He wants to be harassed as little as possible. To make that happen, he wants to farm around here in front of his tower, right? You want to keep the lane
Mm-hmm.
equilibrium is the number one focus in the lane. Always, everything is to keep the wave here. By pulling this here, you're going to shove it back out, which is not what your carry wants to do. Your carry does not want to be last hitting here, close to the enemy's tower.
Mm-hmm.
He wants to be
Okay.
here, so this is not a good pull. You don't want a single pull if you can ever avoid it. What is much better to do here is on the first minute, ultimately, if you can stack this, this will be stacked for the second minute, and then you can pull it with a full stack to kill the whole wave. So I think in this case here, is better just to stack it if you can. You know, if you
Okay.
can bully the techies away to get the stack off. I mean, there's going to be cases where you can't get the stack off, obviously, and that's where you have to do a very different variation of actions. But like, ultimately, if you can stack this first, always stack it.
Mm-hmm. Okay. But
Secondarily, if you're not going to stack it, the other option is to only do a half pull, and you need to be able to consistently do half pulls. How consistently are you able to do half pulls right now?
I think I can do them
Yeah,
most of the time, not
most.
all the time. Because
Yeah.
sometimes all of the creeps end up getting aggroed even though I don't want it, but most of the times I'm able to pull it off.
Especially against like the range camps, it's easier to do the half pull because you can time the projectile hitting you.
Mm-hmm.
So if you let the creeps kind of walk past, and then you're kind of like here in between, let the last hit while the projectile is chasing you, you kind of just walk barely into the aggro range, and you can pull two away pretty consistently. So that's like the second option. If you can't do a stack pull, you do a half pull only, because this is gonna only push you back out here.
Mm-hmm.
And now your void is having to like tank under tower, which is like is not the worst, but like now he's only not only tanking, this second wave here is coming under tower, and now it's pushing all the way back out once again. So like there at no
Okay.
point is he having like a good lane here because it's always shoved out. So I think he got it blocked over there at this point. So most of this is like not too much you can do anymore. You're kind of just playing around the sides. This is fine. Keep blocking that. But like most of the lane already, the lane has been like in front of the enemy tower. So like what's happening here is number one, making your void a little stressed out because he has to farm up here. Number two, this Mars is getting the most farm in the game. This Mars is free farming just because the lane is favorable for him since the first 3 minutes.
Mm-hmm. I understand. So basically, my pull didn't do much, and
Yeah,
it just
you're
mostly ruined the lane. I didn't
exactly.
even realize that.
Exactly. And like, I just want to touch on like, I'm not much higher MMR than you. You know, there's not much,
Mm-hmm.
but it's just like the understanding every decision that you make is an action. Doing something is an action, and not doing something is an action that's just going to affect everything. So, like this TP here, for example, your Void is a full wave here. He's in front of the enemy tower, right? So number one, you don't know where Techies is. This could technically be a 2v1 situation for your Void, where he has a full wave here, and like this wave is still gonna be shoved out. So like, what could happen is that he can get completely bullied and miss all of this farm because you're TPing here. I know you're TPing to save this guy, but you don't even really have resources to TP. You TP, you don't even have one spell.
Mm-hmm.
And then like he lives for a second, and I think he's gonna die anyways. And like this time is okay. Void's doing okay. Techies seen came over mid, so he's not getting like bullied 2v1. but there's not a lot that you're able to accomplish here. Just because I know you're trying to like help him when he's being dove, but it's very hard with your mana. It was a 1v1 situation, and it's just you couldn't really do too much even when you do TP. Where now you're missing a window of opportunity in this lane to maybe be 2v1 or help your void, kind of catch back up. Because the it's not so bad in your lane. Your void's farming, but this Mars is also like free farming, which is like you
Mm-hmm.
want to avoid, having two strong cores on the enemy team or three strong cores if you can. You want to at least try to win one lane. It's like the mid lane is kind of hard because it's Nature's versus Lena. Top lane is Slaughter versus Gyro. Very hard. So this is something you also want to think about as you're climbing is like the whole game state, not just your lane, is what is your favorable lane? What lanes do you guys win based on matchup?
Um, Usually the safe lane. You're supposed to, I guess you're supposed to win that or off lane.
So based on matchups, it's not any one lane, but like
Oh, based
what
on this
here?
game's matchup.
Yeah, this game.
Um, well, the Gyro Jakiro lane is going to win.
Yes. So your top lane is
Second
not
lane is going.
favorable. So you lose top lane for sure based off of matchups. And then
Mm-hmm.
for mid lane, what do you think?
Dina will win because she's a better laner.
Exactly. So Lena is gonna win mid lane. So you have two unfavorable lanes. So now you have your own lane. And what do you think about your lane? Is it win? Is it like
No,
who you can say favored, or do you think it's even?
it could have been even.
I think you
I
have
guess.
the more even lane. Out of
Mm-hmm.
like your whole team, I think you guys have the most even lane because you have Mars versus Void. Void can time walk a lot of these spells, that they use, and you kind of have some decent laning stuff to keep them off your carry. So I think you guys have like at least an even lane that you guys should not really be losing. You should either be able to draw even or maybe even win your lane. If they make
Mm-hmm.
mistakes, I think you guys have like kill potential on like the techies Mars if they are out of position. Like Mars at your tower from you don't have Cookie, but like maybe Cookie. I don't know if people get Cookie anymore. Early levels on Snap, I'll need to look on POS 5. That is one of the differences I think between POS 4 and 5. So I think POS 5 some POS 5 snaps they do get Cookie early. I do see some cookies on level 2, level 4. So that can be something else you think about as well. I see a lot of cookies, at least one value point, usually by level 2 or 3, if not by 4. So
Mm-hmm.
having the cookie, I think maybe in this lane is I don't know how much you were able to like utilize the little shredder in this lane against these heroes. I know you also got the Orb of Blight, which is more reason you went for the little shredder. I think maybe having the other give you more kill potential in the lane. But either way, I think like just to recap what we just talked about is that you guys have like the only lane that's even or like that can like maybe win. These two lanes are lost just based off the matchup. These are kind of lost. So what you want to
Mm-hmm.
avoid is giving the enemy three free lanes instead of two. So if you sack your lane for any reason, that means you're gonna have three lanes that went bad instead of just two lanes. So you want to
Mm-hmm.
be very careful on POS 5, leaving your carry alone at any time before 7 minutes. You want to be just very careful, especially in this case where he is like your win condition, or at least like the heroes that are gonna come out of the lane. You want to give him the best. So that being said, like everything in the lane matters a lot as far as the stuff we talked about earlier, pulling it, keeping it back, just so the way your void can out farm the Mars. But at this point, the Mars is like 9 last hits ahead on the void, which is like not great for your team.
Mm-hmm. I understand.
Let's see. I think you're just clicking him a lot. it's also like again, you don't have like a lot of kill threat in this lane. I think wild cookies. I mean, obviously you don't have the mana for a scatter blast, but you don't have a lot of kill threat in this lane. So like mostly what you're trying to do is just kind of chip harass the Mars as much as you can, but you don't need to like overcommit.
Okay.
Because you don't, you're just like you're not killing this guy. You just don't have like the abilities to really do it. You see Techies is around. I think just all of this is fine. You don't like need to even really be clicking him as much, honestly. I think sitting over here, I think honestly, I think at this point maybe for the 6 minute rune, this could be something that you're thinking about going for.
Mm-hmm. I got it.
Yeah, I think you start walking top because supports were down there. I think it's like not the worst to TP there, but I think like the way the game state feels now, it feels kind of weird in the game. Do you agree with that?
Yeah.
Like right now, you have
More
no,
heroes bottom.
yeah, you have no TP. It's the 7 minute wisdom coming up. You can't secure yours. It's kind of iffy walking over here. Tekis is coming up in 5. You can TP back there. And then your Slardar is now lone top versus the Gyro. You guys aren't really doing a lot here other than bringing a lot of attention to this lane now. So I think like maybe with how the lane is going, you want to maybe start trying to either coordinate a gank with the Lich to maybe fix one of the other lanes. So like killing ganking the Lina or ganking the Gyro, a Witcher Lich. I think you have to like at this point you don't really want to, and Lich is walking away, that's fine, but like at this point, you want to start thinking about how can you lead the lane. Like around 7 minutes, like now the laning phase is kind of over, but now you're kind of committed to this part of the map, so you can think about going. Maybe it's hard to go twin gate even because like this is already happening here. So this is just like very awkward now to sit here. I think
Mm-hmm.
there's not a lot that you can do. I think at this point the Void just kind of wants to do his own thing in lane. Like he's kind of hard to kill, and I think he's just kind of okay farming here to where you can kind of be free now on the map. Which I think now you're getting the idea to start where you start walking around. So I think it's just like the doing this a little bit sooner. I think you don't have to be down here. I think you realize that. I think you're just moving a little bit late. So I think there's things you could have been doing as far as going for the 8 minute power runes. You can also be over
Mm-hmm.
here stacking the triangle. I think is just more efficient of your time.
Okay, I got it.
Yeah, I think all of that's fine. Yeah, I think you just lost some efficiency. There's just some time where you were here, you walked around here, you almost waited there, and then you're TPing back. Wow.
I
But
mean, it's because I saw some, like, I think Void Chrono before or after, I'm not sure, but like they
hmm
were ready to fight for ITB then.
yes, no, the TP was good. It's just the time before the TP was a little bit lost time in a sense.
Yeah, it was because I didn't do anything.
Yeah. So now you go back home. That's fine. Got other resources. So I think like, what's your mindset at this point in the game?
I'm thinking that Gyro hasn't been touched in forever. We need to kill him.
hmm
I do think I communicate that, like, let's smoke and kill Gyro
hmm Yeah, I think.
somehow.
Mhm.
But I think I also looked at my level and I was like, oh my god, I'm not 6 yet. And the enemy supports were 6 when I wasn't. So I also wanted to hit 6.
Yeah.
Oh no, Lich was almost 6 because I remember there being a fight where Lich hit 6 and I wasn't.
Hmm. Okay. Yeah. Looks good. Yeah. No. All that sounded very accurate. Definitely needs to happen. So, what do you see as being the first objective that you want to take in the game, or like tower?
First tower, the enemy safe lane.
Yeah, the enemy safe lane tower. That way, you're taking away farm from the enemy, and then you're also opening up areas of the map that your team can farm as well. So definitely, this is like that first tower you want to think about going to, and also trying to get like your lich. I think your lich doesn't need to be here pulling. Sometimes you have to be the person like, hey, lich, we need another body up here, because like you want at least
Mm-hmm.
like 3 heroes around this side of the map to take this tower or put pressure on it.
Yeah.
So I think you being up here is good. This is something like maybe there's an opportunity to come to this lane sooner, using the twin gate. Maybe some of that dead
Mm-hmm.
time you could have been up here doing stuff earlier, but I think even now is fine. 10 minutes is like usually nowadays is like normal. Like 10 to 15 minutes is when I see the first tower dying. If it's not like a lane that went crazy, like a Beastmaster or something like that.
Yeah.
So you guys like need like one more hero here to like really make this happen, which is why this is like really tough. At least nature's got out. Okay, so let's see your vision. You don't have any words on you, and there's like 4 in stock, I think. I don't know if this is accurate or not. It says 4. So
I'm not sure.
I think you always want to make sure you have a one obs at least, like one obs, one sentry on your body all the time, because you never
Mm-hmm.
know when you need to put it down. Like if you want to come for objective, you want to ward, either around behind the tower or in front of the tower. It's also just every time you have a fight, you just want to have that vision down. It just helps a lot. I don't know if it would have helped
Mm-hmm.
here too much. Let me see. He's CP in there. It's kind of hard to see them coming in. But yeah, that's fine. I think just regardless, you just wanted to kind of have the lich up there. So that might have to be like a person you communicate to come bring heroes up there. But I think it's fine. I think they did stuff down bottom as well. Yeah, at this point, there's not a lot to do. You have your Slardar trying to get his blink. I'm assuming Nature's is kind of trying to just get some kills with Spirit Vessel, farming his next item, and your Faceless Void has like a Midas. So like this is like a very chill game. So like, what are you thinking at this point in the game?
Um, not sure. I I guess mid is like the mid tower is being hit. Someone needs to defend it.
So like, game.
I'm sure that top tower will be gone because I see 3 heroes.
Mhm. Okay. So like,
And
as the
mhm,
Pos 5, you're less mechanically involved in the game. You have a lot more mental space for macro and planning. So like, at this stage of the game, what's your game plan for your team to win the game?
to win the game, they just need to be able to farm as much as possible without dying.
Yeah. So I think you just want to make sure you get. I don't know what your Void is building. Is he going the Radiance build? Yeah, he might be going the Radiance build. But yeah, you want to get 2 or 3 items. He gets the farming items, BKB on Void, then you get the Blink BKB on Slardar, and then you get the Majoner or maybe BKB on Natures, and then like you guys can maybe start thinking about taking objectives in the game out during that time, you're gonna have a lot of time to like farm. So you want to
Mm-hmm.
think about stacking as much as possible for your team, and then also finding an empty lane for you to farm as a support. You want
Yeah.
to use that free space. There's gonna be a lot of free space in this game.
Yeah, this game, I feel like that the enemy draft is very like early game
Yes.
with Jakiro and Tekis and Lina. I'm not sure if she had travels this game, but she's able to like join fights and kill any hero.
Yeah. No, Lena has the
So
travels.
there was pressure for that.
Hmm.
And yeah, I think that they were able to close the game because my team still needed to farm.
Yeah.
They were behind in items
Y-
for majority of the time. I feel like they were just farming till the end.
hmm. So it definitely there are a lot of games where you farm till you lose. It does feel like that happens. I think there's certain things you can do to kind of mitigate that a little bit. I don't know if you guys had the glyph on that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's a good kill. So let's see what can be done. So I think at this point you still want to like focus on the top lane. There was a chance to stack here. 14-minute wisdom coming back up. I think something you can also think about in this game, you don't have kisses right now, but like in the next time you have kisses up, every time you have the kisses, you can look to play behind Void with the chrono to set that up. And then when you don't have kisses, you kind of just go back to playing around the rest of your team. I
Mm-hmm.
think playing behind your Slardar is definitely a good choice. He is almost has his Blink Dagger. So you want to like think about which hero you should be following on the map, which is Nature's is too hard because he's gonna always show up there. The Void you don't
Mm-hmm.
want to be behind unless you have cookies and he has Chrono. So besides that, the next is gonna default is gonna be a Slardar. So you just be kind of mirroring his movement a little bit, where you're if he's farming back, you're farming back. You know, if he's farming forward, you're kind of farming in the same area around him. Which now you guys are here to get this tower, or at least put pressure on it, which is nice. I think once again you still want to like get vision like somewhere behind here. Like I think somewhere on this area of the map it needs to have some type of ward.
Yeah,
And like if you
that
need
makes
to like
sense.
smoke to do that, I think that's fine. Cause like I don't think you guys are like using all three smokes. I know you have one on you I think just now too. Okay, how does it end? This is the longest fight.
Yeah, I think it just got dragged. Um, yeah, it should have ended early. Just we should have gotten those 3 kills, I think, and just left. But we
Yeah.
didn't. We stayed.
Yeah, it didn't even give me a fight recap. I was trying to see if there was one. Okay, let me go back. I just kind of want to see how you took this fight here. Okay, so you don't have kisses, you don't have a lot of spells up. Chrono went back there. Oh, like right here? I think right here you need to instantly drop vision. You just put a ward and the sentry down just right away. Like you can do it here, you can do it like here, as long as it's outside
Mm-hmm.
the tower range. But you need to put some
Okay.
vision down for your team. Vision wins team fights, just hands down. Just being able to have more vision than the enemy wins fights. Like even like putting it up here, so you just see the Lena coming. It was just very helpful.
I see.
You're too far forward in this fight as well. So you have like these couple spells here. So you cookies yourself in. As soon as you cookies in, I think you just try to walk away. Like, I think you just kind of walk down immediately. Because, like, your little shredder's not doing a lot. No, you're trying to finish that kill. And you should definitely just be walking away. Like, all your spells are cooldown. You just want to wait for to use your, like, your strongest team fight right now is your Q. If you can use your Q at least twice in the fight, is good. I think you only got it off one time
Mm-hmm.
in this fight.
Yeah.
So just more of a presence in the early team fights. Your main ability that's maxed out, you want to try to use it, back up, and then use it again, and then maybe after that you can die.
Yeah, it makes sense.
So I think most of that was like okay. I think like you guys needed to have this top fight to make this tower go down, to make some stuff happen on the game. Now cooldowns, all of that type of stuff was good. I think maybe just drop the vision in the fight will make the fight a little bit easier, and then just like we said, just use your spells, get out, and then use your spells again. That should always be
Mm-hmm.
your
Okay.
priority as a support. Yeah, all that is fine. This is your job. This is your job to keep this mid wave pushed in, because no one else really wants to be here. It's just like dangerous. They can get jumped and die very easily. So you're the best hero for that. Eh, maybe you get return kill. Nice. Okay, well, you can't really control that. Your team wants to die. I think all that is good. I think seeing the heroes on the map, you can even like push one more wave. Yeah, I think like they
Mm-hmm.
all just showed mid. I think you just blast this and you get this one more time. Cause you just want to like make pressure on this tower. You want someone like what you can do when your team is trying to farm up and like get items. Like you know that you guys outscale them. So to delay the game, you push waves. That's just what you do is you just push waves. You push them hard to make heroes react. No one's reacting. You push this again. You
Yeah.
this would be dead. The Lena can even TP there. Lena's already coming, to de-push it because you were pushing it out. And then like there's another wave top. So this wave is about to be pushed in again here. So either
Mm-hmm.
Nature's needs to go there, or maybe I guess you guys are trying to get the kill. I don't like this kill. I don't like this play, but it worked out.
I remember this one. I think it worked out, but we dragged it. We dragged it for too long,
Yeah,
and then it didn't work out.
yeah,
Like we got these kills, they respawned.
yeah. Like this was good. It worked out. The enemy like didn't react quickly enough because you were at their tier one and they still let you guys win the fight. And then what's happening here? You guys have a 4K lead. Void has Chrono, so that's what it looks like he's trying to do. I
Yeah, and I remember we didn't have ults to follow up on the chrono.
Yeah, so
We tried to use.
I don't know if this is something that you can avoid. I mean, maybe it's like I don't know how much you talk in games, but like you can be like, "Hey, Void, me Lich, cooldown, no ulties, please wait for Chrono."
Oh yeah. I mean, I didn't communicate that. I did say like get back, and that's it.
And that's it. Yeah,
And then after he wasted and did all that, I told him like, bro, we don't have our spells. You need to keep an eye out for mine and Lich's abilities, and then use your chrono.
yeah,
That's all I told him.
yeah. So I will say, it's like you can't control what your teammates do, but I think as a divine level support and getting higher, you want to ping more. I guess ping your cooldowns more. Like sometimes, like I won't even say talk to people because some people just have all everything muted in game, right? Sometimes you
Mm-hmm.
just gotta just ping your abilities, and then like even like before it happens, just like hey Void, you have Chrono up. Can you wait? I don't have ulti yet. Can we combine our ultimates? Like you want to make it a point in the game, a focus of hey Void, can when we have ultimates up on us three, can we smoke? Please, can you save
Okay.
Chrono for me? Like this should just be a this is your team plan. How do you guys take a fight as a team? You guys use Chrono, you use Lich, you use Kisses. That should just be the team plan. And you know this, everyone on your team should know it, but you can be that difference maker of not everyone gets into a game of this is how we need to play, this is what we're going to do to win, but you can be that one
Mm-hmm.
person that this is how we win the game, and team, this is the outline. Please try to follow my outline. Try to get the team to follow your master plan because you are like the captain. You know, you're the support player. You're the trying to lead your team to do smart things as much as possible.
Mm-hmm.
And I think like playing in the game is like one skill, being able to communicate effectively is another skill. You know, being able to communicate and actually get good responses is a skill in its own. So I don't know how
Yeah.
much you talk to your teammates, but something I personally try to encourage myself to do more often because it can be beneficial. It is a team game.
Yes, you're right.
So it's very weird game state. Your team is smoking up. You're trying to get this DD. Oh no. When you guys throw, at what point?
Um, what point we throw? I
Yeah.
think there's a Roshan fight, and yeah, and we lose that fight. I think it's fine over here until here, maybe not there.
Okay, that was a
um,
small. I mean, that's a small throw top. Why did this happen? So why are? Let's even go back a little bit farther. Okay, so they have two dead on their side, and your team is kind of grouped up around here.
mhm.
So in this state of the game, what is your idea of closing out the game? What needs to happen?
um, I think we push the lanes until these two respawn and probably get deeper vision up because two of them are dead. But we didn't do that, I think.
Mhm.
We didn't place vision and we probably just ran in for a fight instead of just pushing out the waves further.
Yeah, so there's a couple of different options here. So primarily, like you said, pushing out the lanes is good. That's one thing you can do that's good. Secondarily is getting deep vision up while they're dead is also a good thing. Number three, the objective around like 23 minutes in the game is for me is going to be the Tormentor. I don't know if they already were taken, and then the Tormentor is done. The Roshan is the next objective. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure when these guys died or how much time you guys had, but like this should be something that you, even as a support, you look at your team. You have a Slardar on your team, and you have a Blightstone, a little Shredder. I think you guys can do Roshan. It's a little scary because you don't have a lot of time. But like that being said, you're trying to like get these kills and force a Roshan. Especially when you have Chrono, you don't have Kisses yet, but you do have Chrono and you have Lich Ult. So it's like it's so hard for them to like fight you if they're not set up. So like that being said, if you're on Roshan and you guys have superior vision and they're coming up, they're trying to TP come in here, it's way easier for you guys to take a fight with the Chrono than if they're already set up, right? Like they're dead. So like same thing. That being said, if you're not gonna go for Roshan, your team wants to maybe pressure a tier 2 tower, maybe even get more kills. Like they're gonna be one by one effect sometimes, especially in pubs. People are uncoordinated; they don't come together at the same time. So like you see Lena here top. So like maybe you guys can get one more kill with the chrono before the team can respawn. So that's what I'm thinking. Like you guys are in a advantage state. That's what I like to call it. Is I take it from like fighting games. You have a neutral state where everything is even. You have an advantage state and you have a disadvantage state. So you guys are in the advantage state. So in the advantage state, you guys can look for more pickoffs. You can look to set up on Roshan. You can look to control an area of the map. You want to stay in an area of the map and hold it while you have this advantage. And holding it doesn't mean that you have to fight. It simply means that you're ready to fight. You're ready to catch someone out of position, and you're ready to just take this farm. You're also just taking farm from the enemy while you're staying on this side. So that's all the options that you have. Coming here, both of you guys on supports are kind of just grouping up here, while all your team is top lane. So like we talked about like what you guys were in the advantage state. So what can happen is that you guys can set up for another kill while people are still dead. So, and that is what is happening
Mhm.
here. Is that your cores are like, yeah, this Lena's alive, alone, her supports are dead. Let's kill the Lena. We have Chrono, we have the Blink Dagger, and they're going for this kill here. Only problem is both supports are sitting middle. This is like good Chrono. They got the kill, and like maybe like it's not just you, it's also the Lich. Like you don't have ulti, but the Lich had the ulti there. So like it's just maybe he also gets that kill faster on the Lena if you guys are just a little bit closer by.
Mhm.
It was just no damage. No damage for the Chrono, but there's just one small thing. So like maybe instead of like being mid, maybe you guys are either with your team top or you guys are telling them let's like set up on Roche. I think like once again you guys have like the Curse of Haze and like stuff to actually take Roche with your team.
Yeah.
As long as you have the vision, which you guys do. Like you guys have great vision over here. So you guys can like play around that. But that was a considerable throw. So it's more of a decision making of we know pushing the lanes is good and pushing the mid lane is very good most of the time. It's just a if the enemy team is dead, your idea of what you want to do is different. Generally, if the enemy team is dead, you just want to be behind your cores to make another play happen while you guys have that advantage state.
Mhm. Yeah. That was a throw. Both the support should have been there.
hmm Okay. I think.
Yeah, we scanned Roshan and they were doing Roshan,
hmm
and we needed to set up, I guess.
Okay, so like finding where you fit in this game. So like Snapfire is one of those supports that like to play the lanes because you're able to nuke the waves and shove them out. Nature Prophet is also one of these heroes. Does Nature like to push mid lane or side lanes more? What would you say?
Side lane.
Side lanes more just because they're generally are going to be safer. There's a lot more trees he can TP into and get out of. So like the mid wave is always going to be like the most dangerous wave to shove out. And I think this is where you should be right now instead of being top. I think like this top half is just very not useful for you to be in this area. Like you're just like a slow. You're not that slow, but like your support, y'all just walk around the map. I think like you want to just be around mid because you can easily get top rows, you can easily get bottom. But you're here, you're trying to get all the way here, and now you're making other heroes have to push this out to where he's kind of getting jumped on. Like, you'd rather this be you dying than the nature's dying. This
Yeah.
mid is always the hot zone. This is like the hot wave. This is like kind of your job. You want to keep that pushed out, or at least like keep vision. Like I think also you should already have vision here. You have like all the wards and stuff. You know Roshan is here. Like this is like the only objective that matters in the game. Like before tier twos, like you get tier ones, and then this Torm and then Roche. That's like all you're trying to play around. Then after you get Roche, that's when you go tier twos, and then you go high ground after that. But like your focus in the game has to be controlling this Roshan between the 20 and 30-minute mark. So all vision needs to be put down already here. It's already just too late. And it's not like you didn't have time to put it down. You
Yeah,
had
I did have time.
you had the vision. You're just kind of like walking here, walking here. It's like no reason. Like this is not the guy you want to play behind. Like we talked about, the guy you want to play behind is like the Slardar. That's who you should be around, or the Void when he has Chrono and stuff. The Natures is you want to let him control this wave. He's already pushing out with trains. There's no reason to be here. You need to be thinking about what do you need to do to enable your team. And number one is this Roshan. You need to be able to contest the Roshan. You don't even have to take it. You just want to make sure that the enemy doesn't take it, and that if you guys get a kill, you're in the position to run to it and take it immediately.
Mm-hmm. Excellent.
And like that's like the only reason they even went for that kill is so they can do Roshan. Okay, not bad, not bad. Okay, so you guys have the Aegis. You're kind of just waiting on cooldowns again. So it's just a very like farm heavy game. Okay, so like now, like how often do you look at your carries items?
How often?
Yeah.
Um, I do look at them once in a while.
Okay. So I try to make it a habit to check my carries items because they're going to usually be like your condition on when are you able to fight and go high ground, and usually it's going to be the BKB. It's like the carry is ready to fight once he has this item. So like by checking
Mm-hmm.
Void's item, you can kind of just see, is he ready to fight now? Not really. He needs like one more item to just kind of give you an idea of the game state and like what needs to happen right now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, this is like a minor skirmish. Like you guys should be avoiding big fights until your void is ready. The Slardar wants to go in. Let's see how bad does this get.
I think White just got forced to join us, even though he should be farming.
Yeah, yeah. He wants to just finish his BKB. I mean, he can't use Chrono, and that's pretty much it. All he can do. So, how did we avoid this happening?
I think that even if Slardar went mid, I shouldn't have followed him, and I should have just played it safe.
Exactly. So, I don't know if you looked at your void items. So in the game, so like that's need to be one thing. Like when you guys have the Aegis, what is the purpose of this Aegis here? So generally, how what do you, in your words, what's the difference or the use of the first Aegis, second Aegis, so on? What do you think about it?
Um, Sometimes it's just to deny the enemy the ages, and I think this game we just denied them the ages and played it safe, or we should have played it safe, but we didn't.
Yeah, I agree. I think in this game, the first Aegis is like means nothing in this game. The first Aegis is like purely to, like you said, either to deny it or like I like to just call it a farming Aegis. This is an Aegis just to have it to farm, and then like maybe you can pressure tier 2 towers. The first Aegis for me, if I'm really ahead, I get Aegis and then I go tier 2s, and then we're back to farming. And then the second Aegis with the banner is usually if I feel strong enough, that's when we go high ground. Versus their
Mm-hmm.
team is definitely understandable. I think this Aegis, maybe not even a tier 2 Aegis, maybe just strictly a farming Aegis, unless you get a fight just because they have Mars. Like you just have to kind of respect that if you show up to a tower, they can Mars ulti, Jakiro ulti, and the call down with the blast off. Their arena team fight is strong, so you do have to respect that somewhat. So this is like a farming Aegis, and like you just said, the only thing you can do here is that you want to farm. You know that your Void wants to farm. You know that you guys are not really strong enough yet to really fight them and like win the game. So what you need to do is not be here. You need to. I think you're getting TP brought out to you, but you need to like not be here. You need to like be maybe somewhere on the other side of the map, just maybe farming their jungle, maybe putting some vision down. Void is here pushing this out. I don't know if nature wants to touch this wave. I think he is. You being mid here.
I think I just got like pressured into using my spells as because I saw Slardar going.
Yeah.
And yeah, now I don't have my spells. I'm not sure if let's use the spells. So now
Yeah, I think
we
it's
just don't have our spells.
yeah, I think that's really the biggest thing is like just your ulti. I think you
Mm-hmm.
just need to at this point of the game, like in the early game, it's okay. You're not gonna always be there, which will avoid the combo. But I think like in like around 30, 25 plus minutes, you want to save it every time for Chrono. 'Cause, like that's like how you win team fights.
Mm-hmm. I didn't think of that. Like I need to save it for Chrono.
Yeah, you need to save it for Chrono. Like that is the play. That is just like your why your team is strong is because you have this Chrono into the Kisses into the Chain Frost. That's like your strongest team fight, and that's something you also want to think about every game too. Is like how do you guys take fights? And like it's only because you guys have that you're even able to fight their team. Because their team fight is scary with the arena and everything we talked about. They have strong team fight. You guys are able to only be on even grounds with the Chrono, Cookies, and the Lich ulti.
Mm-hmm.
So like in games where you guys have a weaker team fight, what is your approach?
If we have a weaker team fight, we just try to kite and avoid that fight as much as possible. Maybe bait some spells. And this time I am the one who got baited. We
Yeah,
shouldn't have fought.
yeah, exactly. So you try base spells, you try to split push, you try to split up the map as much as possible when they're stronger. But yeah, I think you understand. It was just like now you don't have the cookies for this kill. I think that's like the main
Yeah,
takeaway.
he
Yeah,
used Chrono and
just
we didn't
nothing.
have the spells to follow up for it.
Yeah, nothing was there for the chrono. So I think at least Alina would die if you had cookies there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's hard to stop your Slardar from like going in crazy. You can't control your team, but we can only do what we can do, and that's definitely one small thing, which I think that what made an impact. Besides that, like maybe instead of being mid, maybe you're just trying to like it's hard like we talked about. You don't really want to go top because Void was already top, Nature's already
Mm-hmm.
bottom. So it's not a whole lot to do other than just like farming jungle camps and then just kind of being on the lookout. I mean, I guess sometimes what you want to do is kind of like watch your Slardar before they do stuff, dumb stuff, and like just like X ping them. I do like the X ping a lot. It won't let me do it, I guess, in replays. Oh, there he goes.
Yes, I understand what you mean.
Yeah, just to tell people no. But yeah, I think there's not gonna be too much more in this game. Let's see. So again, you're kind of resetting back to you got cookies back up, waiting for Chrono again. I think also as well, I think you're not farming enough. I think there's like enough downtime in this game that you can have a little bit more last hits. So you have like 46, and the enemy supports have
Mm-hmm.
like 62, 82, like almost twice as much.
Yeah, you're right.
And like sometimes it's just like as simple as just hitting jungle camps. Like it doesn't feel very good, but like if there's nothing to do, you just have to hit a jungle camp, the nearest one. I even like here, maybe you walk back up here and just farm like at least one camp there, and then walk back to your team. You know, maybe farm one camp there, or maybe you come here, push this wave out, and you walk back to your team again. Which you
I
eventually
mean,
you
I
did
did
come
waste
there.
a lot of time
Yeah,
in this game just walking around.
yeah. And then like again, you're wasting your cookies. Like it's a significant cooldown on this is almost 2 minutes long, and you wasted your cookies without the chrono again. So it just needs to be like
Mm-hmm.
in your mind, your cookies is for chrono this game. This is like you're saving it for that only and only that.
You're right.
And like I guess the way you can like ask yourself is like you just want to ask yourself, is this the fight? And like if it's not the fight, then you don't use your main ability. You don't use your ultimate. And you know if it's the fight when you see the chrono. If you don't see the chrono, then it's not the fight.
Mm-hmm.
Looking like a trend is just gonna be your cores dying one by one. Okay, this time is actually you. Okay, so you see Jakiro hanging around mid. You don't have a lot of vision around here. So you walk all the way out. Let's see how you do it. Yeah. Okay. It happens. It's like not the worst death. He actually like committed BKB. You're keeping the lane in while your team is doing an objective.
Mm-hmm.
It's not that bad of a death. It could be a much worse death if like Roshan was alive. Cause then like maybe they go Roshan after they kill you. I think nothing is they're not really able to do anything, so no problems there. And it looks like maybe you guys start one more fight and that's it. You got your kisses back up, you got Chrono up. So like this should be like a at this time I think like you're trying to smoke your team. Like you're trying to your Void I think has BKB now. You have all your ultimates up. You need to like call
Mm-hmm.
your team. He needs to push out this lane and like you guys just smoke right away. Like this is already kind of pushed out. This is pushing in. Like you guys need to smoke now. Should be like the call you're trying to make to your team.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you killed the vision. Now you guys should be smoking. Yeah, Void. Somebody needs to call Void. And it's happening. And it's happening a little late.
Yeah, again, we scan the roach. We don't smoke for it. We just go in.
Yep, game
Okay,
was
I
lost
use
here.
kisses for the vision.
Hmm
I
I
guess we
didn't even.
shouldn't have gone for this roach
Yeah,
anyway.
yeah. I didn't even see his chrono actually when it happened. Okay, okay. He used the after. Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
It was
So
bad.
it was bad. It was bad in a lot of
Yeah.
ways. But I think the main takeaway is that you needed to call your team together just like 30 seconds sooner. I think like if you're just calling your team 30 seconds sooner to like get them to group with the void, that is mainly the void. You need your void to come. So like sometimes you gotta just ping your carry or like just call them, like wake them up. Sometimes they're just AFK farming in their own land, like Wonderland. You just gotta bring them back to reality and say, Void, you have Chrono, you have BKB. Please come smoke like now, because I think like
Mm-hmm.
that was just the timing you guys needed to smoke. I think if you guys smoke, you run at them first. I think you guys win the fight.
Yeah.
I think y'all win the fight. You win this Roshan fight, and then the game is different. I think that's from it, and then they just end from there, I believe. Yeah. So yeah, we can end it there.
Yeah, I mean the game is over at this point.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, main takeaways being number one in the laning phase is as a pause 5, your number one priority needs to be giving your carry the safest, most comfortable lane that he's ever
Mm-hmm.
experienced. And that means number one, you want to focus on stacking the pull camp. Always stack it before you pull it. That way you can kill the whole wave or you're half pulling. You're not doing
Mm-hmm.
you're not doing single pulls. The only time you're doing a single pull is if you're in a very bad situation and you need to immediately pull the lane back. And that means like you're they're messing with you. They're not letting you stack it. The lane is getting shoved out, and if the lane is shoved out, your carry can't even touch creeps. That may be the only time you single pull it, just so to bring it back, so your carry can like touch creeps again. Like that's very um, disadvantaged lanes. But like
Mm-hmm.
if it's
I
an
understand.
even lane, you want to always, or even the advantage lane, you want to always stack it and then pull it, and then on your also should match for your lane stick or stats. So you're gonna be the place to have very easy. Like you outrange them a lot without them doing much better. And that be the way that greedy like to.
Yeah.
Now the link phase, I think the way was you into the space form. You want to make sure that your out range shoved out on your hero, and then you're playing your core timings in the right core here. You like your hits with your synergy cookies. The last way around the 3-minute mark, you really make it on Roshan. Roshan to be accurate on the tip on being
Mm-hmm.
able to get that second row. Third, usually in your game is how do we get Torment Roche? How do we get to then we get what items you guys waiting for and on the same page. That's the main take I got from that. Yep.
So a lot of things I didn't know myself, especially in throwing lane. So
Problem.
I was here and tomorrow I don't know that I farm lane. And whenever I get Snapfire players, they're usually very
Farmed.
Snapfire is just farming,
Yeah.
and I'm not doing that.
Yeah, and some
So
like amateur games I play like versus like other teams and stuff. There's some players they're so greedy in game, they're so big that they're so firm that you can pause 5 with like cheap stick like in this game, and it can just have a lot of
Mhm.
impact.
Yeah, you're right.
Okay.
I will pay attention to these things.
I hope it was beneficial. I will write a small summary and send it over to you. Just have
Mm-hmm.
that as like reference. Do you have any closing thoughts or any questions, anything like that?
No, this has been really helpful. Thank you so much, time.
Nope.
And I hope that we can continue.
Yeah, sure. If you want to
With,
do recurring sessions, I don't mind. I can actually put together like a a little coaching schedule routine, and kind of have like different stuff over classes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. That sounds perfect. Actually, you can just say chlorine because that's
Chlorine.
my Steam username.
Okay, chlorine. Yeah, that's fine. All right. Well, it was a pleasure
Okay.
talking to you, Chlorine. If you have any questions or need anything else, just always feel free to reach out. If it was beneficial, I will also ask for like a testimonial at some point if you don't mind, just like a small written thing. But that's it for now.
Mm-hmm. No problem. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Well,
I really appreciate it.
yeah, have a good rest of your night. You take care. Bye bye.
You too. Bye bye.